The trachea is this elastic cartilage ring structure. That's, of course, we're going to find more about it when we do the respiratory system. Right behind it is the esophagus. And when you swallow food, there's a lot of things happening in your oral cavity. For instance, the uvula, when you swallow, blocks off the nasal pharynx. The epiglottis, which is this structure here, blocks off the opening to the trachea, which is called the glottis. And so that way you get food, hopefully, down the esophagus and not anywhere else. Now coming from there, you can see the lungs. And the lungs are a little different than our lungs.
I can't see your hands.
Okay, wait 1 second. Okay. The lungs are these structures here. Our lobes are a little different. We have 3 lobes on the right and 2 on the left. This is the heart, and the heart is encased in something called the pericardial sac. So that's the connective tissue, the fibrous pericardium, plus that serous membrane. Okay? And I'm not dissecting the heart because you already did that. This is what I was trying to say, of course. This is the diaphragm. And it's a muscle that it's domed. It goes all the way around. And so when you inhale, it contracts and it's lowered. When you exhale, it relaxes and it comes back up to its normal shape. The liver. The liver also contains the gallbladder. They're connected. The gallbladder is this green structure in here. Anything green by the liver is the gallbladder. And it's green because of the bile. Very good. Now, this is the lesser omentum. It only is a connection between the stomach and the liver. That's the only place where you find the lesser omentum. The greater omentum is this whole sheet of connective tissue that helps to cover your abdominal viscera. Thank you. And then this is the spleen. We know about the spleen. Oh, yeah, I'll give you credit. This is the spleen, and that's part of the immune system. This, if I go underneath the stomach and I reflect back the greater omentum, you see this structure that looks like liver pate? I always call it liver pate.
Where's the liver pate?
Right there.
Yeah,
that's the pancreas. Pancreas means all meat. And when the first anatomists looked and they go, oh my God, that looks like a piece of steak. It's all meat. And that's what they called it. Okay? Now, the small intestine is held together so it does not become twisted or tangled, right, by the mesentery. And within the mesentery, you will see all the blood vessels, the nerves, and lymphatic vessels that go through here. Because, of course, mesentery is connective tissue, and it's actually an extension of the peritoneum. Remember the peritoneum? The 3 serous membranes? Mm-hmm. You have the pleura, peritoneum. You have the around the heart. Does the heart beat? Remember peritoneum? Serous membrane. Sorry. Pericardial serous membrane. No. Myocardium is the muscle. And you have 3. And around the gastrointestinal tract, you also have that serous membrane called the peritoneum. So this is the large intestine. It looks a little different than ours. Ours is more complex. They don't have to worry so much as we do. Coming down here, you can see the bladder. That's the urinary bladder. This is a female, and you can see her ovary here, her uterine tube here, and this is actually the uterus down in here. And if she was pregnant, it would have been expanded, of course, carrying the kidneys.
Which one's her ovary?
This right here. This little bump. Okay. That's the uterine tube. And then down here is the uterus. That's the urinary bladder. Retroperitoneal, meaning the kidneys actually traveled behind the peritoneum. And so they're embedded in adipose tissue, and it's a fibrous capsule also. And what you can see, or what you cannot
A lot
see,
of fascia.
yeah, a lot of fascia holding it in place, protecting it. You can see a little outline of the ureter, but it's really faint because you can't figure out between the fat. It's right there. Now, I'll fix that up so you can see it better. And, of course, that drains into the urinary bladder. Have any questions? Anything that you didn't understand about?
Is this going to be on our
Yes, it will be.
practical? Okay.
Everything that I listed, that I went through. And I'll write you a list so that you know.
Okay.
And this is easier. These are whole structures, right? So you should be thankful that I'm putting this in the practical, because when we get to the other models, you have smaller structures. And I will give you the study guide today. Okay? Any questions? You understand where everything's at? And I'll dissect more of this out, clean it up so you can see better.
I didn't really get to see the upper
You
portions.
didn't-
Is it your gloves were?
Okay.
Which one was the epiglottis?
You can't see it from
Oh,
here.
okay.
That's the trachea, and that behind it
Is
is
the
the
esophagus?
esophagus.
Okay.
Okay? What else didn't you get to see?
Nothing else that I caught.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I'll leave it open for you guys if you want.